like to call this meeting order. If you could please stand for the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome everyone tonight. Mr. Clerk, roll call.
Miss Agman Bosa.
Here.
Mr. Bartelli. Miss Bennett.
Here.
Mr. Besaid. Mr. Calkins.
Here.
Miss Casper.
Here.
Miss Childs.
Here.
Mr. Condon. Miss Driscoll.
Here.
Mr. Fioravanti.
Here.
Miss Franklin.
Here.
Mr. Goldstein. Miss Gonzalez.
Here.
Miss Green.
Here.
Miss Jessic. Miss Khan.
Here.
Miss McKenzie. Miss Mooreshead. Miss Mullen. Miss Mullen Cole.
Here.
Miss Nunes Peterson.
Here.
Mr. Olinsu. Miss Pellet.
Here.
Miss Stewart Jelinas.
Here.
Mr. Segru.
Here.
Mr. Sullivan.
Here.
Miss Watson Jones. We have a quorum.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. First order of business. I'll entertain a motion to elect the moderator of the representative town meeting to serve for a term of 1 year, Charter 1.1.12C.
Second.
The motion was made by Mary Childs, seconded by Danielle Jelinas. Thank you for that. All those, well. So with that, are there any nominations for moderator? Any nominations for moderator? Yes. Mary, go ahead.
I nominate Susan Driscoll.
Is there a second?
Second.
Did you get that? Okay. We have a motion and a second. Is there another any other nominations for moderator? Any other nominations? Any other nominations? Any other nominations? Hearing no other nominations. This is closed. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Thank you. Yes, Sue Driscoll abstains. Thank you. Congratulations. Congratulations, Sue. Come on up and take your place at the table.
Explain to them we're having technical difficulties.
She had no idea she was going to be elected, so just give her a minute, okay?
No, I wasn't allowed to put my stuff up here. Could go on the other one. Where'd you go? All right, well, the clerk is doing something. Thank you. All right, thank you, everyone. Sorry for the delay. Takes me a while to unpack. So, right now, I'm regretting not paying more attention to when Mr. Goldstein used to smoothly take us from one item to another. So I'm just going to make it up as I go along. All right, so we are on item D. Consider an act upon the minutes of the October 6th, 2025 regular meeting of the RTM. I'm asking for a motion as soon as I find my minutes. Thank you.
Second.
Who made that, Goldstein?
Could-
Second came from...
Right, no.
Oh, it wasn't me.
Condon and me second.
Condon and who?
I second it.
We are so smooth, I just can't believe it.
Madam
All right.
Moderator, may I interrupt? Is it possible to make these amended, amend this motion to include these are amended minutes? Because this is not the version, this was an amended version. Is that
So you're
possible?
making a friendly amendment
Sure, it's
to the
fine.
motion to approve the October 6th?
And just
Yep.
add
Okay.
the word amended, if possible.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you. Got it. Any discussion on the amended minutes? Any questions? No, nothing? All right, hearing none. Call for a vote. All those in favor of approving the amended minutes of the October 6th, 2025 RTM meeting, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain?
Abstain.
Whoop.
Roll call.
Can you want a roll call, or could they just leave their hands up? If you guys don't mind.
Leave them up.
You want me to tell your names? Bartelli and Franklin?
Yep. Good.
Down.
Oh, Ms. Powell.
And Ocean. Got them all? We're good? Okay, moving on to correspondence. All right. The correspondence we received with the call consisted of a letter from the First Selectman to the Office of Policy and Management, for lack of a better word, protesting the new reval schedule and asking for relief. So that was one. We have a letter of interest from an individual who would like to serve on the Utility Commission. So you can move that down in your package to item 11 if you'd like. And third, a reminder from Chief Balestrasi that he is awaiting action by the RTM committee on his request for a new ATV ordinance. So everybody try to remember this letter by the end of the meeting when we have the committee assignments, and know that we'll have to get in touch with him for that. Other correspondence which you left on the table. Did we go through that? Well, thank you. All right, he's so handy. Another letter of interest for serving on the Utility Commission. Again, that would be item 11. A replacement letter from the Director of Finance for item number 2. I believe she deleted the last paragraph on the original. A nomination for Personnel Review Board for Gwendolyn Braxton, which goes for, we have so many of these. Thank you, number 10. And 2 more for the Personnel Review Board, also number 10. Glad your pile is in order. Last but not least, another nominee for the Utility Commission submitted by the Waterford Democrat Town Committee. That it? That's it? All right, that is everything. Any questions, comments, concerns about any of the correspondence? No. I do have one quick question for the First Selectman. You may not have an answer.
Sure.
I would agree. No, the letter to OPM, because this was, back in October, which seems years ago, but have you heard anything? Has there been any rumors?
Yes, my office did get an email back. It was positive, with the help of Paige. Maybe she can talk about it when she goes up there a little
when
bit
she
on her
comes up?
motion.
Okay,
But it was a good meeting, and she has an update for you.
excellent. Thank you. All right. That's it, right? No vote? Okay. Yes, looking. Thank you. Moving on to public comment. I believe there was a sign-up sheet by the door. We'll call you, and only one person signed up. There we go. The rules of public comment, as I remember them, Paul, you can correct me. We ask everyone to be limited to 3 minutes if possible. And if you have written comments you want to submit, you can submit them at the end of your presentation, and we'll put them in the record for you. Thank you. All right, so this is Josh Kelly.
Yes, thank you, Ms. Moderator. Josh Kelly, 6 Marlin Drive. I'm here tonight to speak to you about a letter that I've submitted to you for your consideration about appointment to the Utility Commission here in Waterford. I think that it's very important for me to be here tonight in case any of you have questions as you go along. I'll remain through the actual appointment process later in your meeting, but I do want to briefly speak to my credentials. In past roles that I've been involved with as town administrator in Bolton, I was also the sewer administrator in that municipality here in Connecticut and oversaw all facets of the sewer system within the town of Bolton, as well as the Bolton Lakes Regional Water Pollution Control Authority. And beyond that, as town manager and CEO in the town of Winchester, Connecticut, I also oversaw a municipal water and sewer department, where I had the opportunity to be hands-on and complete quite a few projects through the American Rescue Plan Act and beyond. And I certainly have the knowledge, skills, and abilities needed to serve in this commission. I wish to be as involved with the town as I can be and give back in the best ways that I know how. So I hope that you will take this under advisement, and thank you very much for your time here tonight.
Thank you. All right, next up. Yeah. All right, any other public comment? Anybody have another comment, question, concern they'd like to share with us? Hearing none, then we'll move on to committee reports and referrals. So, to the best of my knowledge, we do not have any committee reports, or they weren't sent along. I would beg the clerk to give me an update other than the erstwhile LNA committee term report. Are we missing any from any of the other committees?
I think we're missing anything. Nothing they came today, but I'll get a roll of what we do have and what we don't have.
Okay,
Okay.
we can check on that tomorrow.
Madam Moderator,
Yes, ma'am.
may I? Just as a report from, if we can just address the chief's letter, I did reach out to him after seeing that letter as a chairperson. The delay that he remarks about was due to our waiting on to see what Hartford was going to be doing
Yeah.
for the issue that he identified was going to take 2 years. Typically, it wouldn't take that long, and again, if I'm lucky enough to serve on that committee again, that will be expedited.
Thank you very much. That was an excellent update. I know you had made progress on it before, so. All right. Any other former chairs want to give an update? Or we'll just move on. All right, so we also have
Oh, I'm sorry.
no, go ahead.
Madam Moderator, just a suggestion, not necessarily a point of order or point of information, however you want to consider it. For item
You do it.
G, under our ordinances 2.04.090, one of the reasons why I usually asked in the past for a motion to accept the moderator's report is because under 2.04.090, Section B, just so you're aware, that as you know, that you don't have to give a written report, but you have to give an oral report.
Correct.
And if there's no oral report or upon failure to update the body, that whatever item is in committee is up for RTM disposition, if there's no report given.
Right.
So I just, in the future, in the February meeting, you may want to have a motion to accept the moderator's report, so everything that's in there stays in committee. Otherwise, it's a simple majority vote, otherwise each item in that standing committee can be put up for disposition at the RTM meeting. So that's why I was asking for a motion to accept moderator's report.
Thank you,
Or
but
just-
I actually was just about to bring up the moderator's report and some corrections to it.
Perfect, excellent.
But thank you for the rest
You're
of it.
welcome.
Okay. Moderator's report. I would ask that under LNA, it is missing an issue. It should include review chapter 3.08 to reflect Public Act 25-92. That was referred to committee
Last one.
in October. Under Finance, Wage, and Personnel, the first one, review of ordinance 3.17 fleet management, that was referred to committee August 4th. The date was missing.
Of this year, correct?
Yes. And under Public Health, Recreation, and Environment, referred in October, the review of rec and parks and public works ordinances to update. It's a lot of words, sorry. Jordan Park House maintenance duties. Those are the ones. Can anyone else think of one we might have missed? I think those were all we referred in October.
I'll go back through the last couple, and then I'll reprint another one to send out to you guys.
Okay. All right, so I have a motion to accept the amended moderator's report.
Second.
Childs and Goldstein. Thank you.
Yeah, good.
Okay.
Yeah, good.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstain? Ayes have it. Thank you. Right, on to agenda item 1. Which? I have lost my agenda.
If you want to do H, you can do it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I skipped H, appointee and liaison reports. Appointees are any member of the RTM that was appointed to serve on a special committee. They are free to give an oral report at this time if they would like. We currently do not have any liaisons, so
Excuse me.
it'll take less time.
Just a quick question
Mhm.
regarding liaisons and committee appointees. I believe the Ethics Commission met, and in our packet, when we were all sworn in, Town Clerk Campbell does a wonderful job every year of putting the package together.
Yeah.
In there is Chapter 2.50, our ethics ordinance.
Mm-hmm.
Quite frankly, after serving for 15 years, I'm very confused about how this ordinance is being applied. I understand it's under the L&A committee. We have
Right.
a lot of new members who have never served before, who abstained on minutes tonight. And in that ethics report, in the ordinance, it talks about free from threats, undue influence in all forms. So I would like clarification, being that the Board of Selectmen is going into budget hearings in February.
Right.
As to what are we following, how are we supposed to be following it? And I would like clarification and review, as did our town attorney did for us on 5/11/2020. And per the ethics ordinance, we were supposed to be following that advisory opinion. So obviously, you don't have to have it now, but there are a lot of new members who have never served before. And I think this is extremely important issue that needs to be clarified at our February meeting, if not sooner. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Goldstein. Just to reassure you, the Ethics Commission is actually meeting tomorrow, weather permitting. Also, the clarification issues that you had brought up, they had asked us, that was the issue that was in L&A. We had our first meeting on the clarification of some of the confusion you're referencing. We had a pretty good meeting. They had some suggestions. We took them all in. We were not able to meet with them again afterwards because, as it turned out, a couple of personal crises within both committees interfered for the first couple of months, and then after that, we could not meet with them because they were in the process of the hearings. So we are a little behind schedule on that.
Thank you.
But we all totally agree there needs to be clarification.
I look forward to having that discussion. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. So, nothing else? There were no reports. Moving on. Thank you. Item number 1, to consider and act upon a request from the Harbor Management Commission effective January 1, 2026, to increase moorings and pulley rates as presented. Do I have a motion? Childs? And a second? Morset? You okay?
Yeah.
Motion and a second? All right. Any discussion? Or do we have a presentation from? Yes,
Madam Moderator, thank you.
thank you.
Members of the RTM, Mr. Campo, Mr. Brule, and respected members. My name is John Hughes. I'm Chairman for Harbor Management Commission, and I had the pleasure of speaking with Mr. Bartelli this morning. So I want to put some meat on this bone that we had in front of you.
Oh, yeah,
Oh, sure.
thank you.
Any better? Good. I spoke with Mr. Bartelli this morning and thank him for that conversation. I wanted to submit this letter. When I first heard about East Lyme raising their rates to 100 and 125 for new members, I felt that we should do the same, and that was the letter that I submitted. But when I started looking into the expenses that our commission has had and the revenue that we produce, our revenue for this year was about $11,300. Our expenses for our recording secretary was $6,700, and we had other expenses for the commission of $2,300. That brings us to $9,052 out of the collected $11,375. Now, what has happened recently in this past year and a half, we share the expenses of the boat, the Harbor Master's boat, with East Lyme. East Lyme has not, well, all the work is done by Boats Inc., which is in East Lyme. And we have not received an invoice from East Lyme for our share of the repairs. So that's going to be another few $1,000s at least. The boat has been pulled, it's shrink wrapped, and it's now at the East Lyme Police Department. So I do expect them to have a catch-up, but I haven't seen the revenue. So if we do raise the rates to $100 and $125 for new, that's going to be a $4,800 increase. Now, we don't have a P&L, we don't have a budget, but we do contribute to the general fund. So I would think the most prudent thing that we could do as a commission would be to increase the rates to $100 for renewal and $125 for new. Does anybody have any questions?
Any questions? Representative Morset.
Thank you, Madam Moderator, through you. Thank you, Mr. Hughes, for coming in. Do you
My
feel
pleasure.
like that's a good enough, I mean, not to see prices go up extraordinarily, but do you feel like that's an appropriate bump up to meet the needs and also make the customers or the members
The mooring
happy?
haul is- I think it's a pretty good deal, to tell you the truth, to put a mooring in the river for $100 for the season.
Yeah.
I think is a pretty good deal.
All right, thank you.
Good, thank you. Anything else? Thank you for your time.
Well, I have one question. I was just waiting to make sure I have to be,
Okay.
I have to be last. Just as a ballpark, if you can, how many people
There's just under 200
Just under
moorings
200?
and pulley poles, right?
on our side,
Yes,
for lack of a better term?
right.
It's about
I
the
don't
same
have-
on the other.
I don't have those numbers on East Lyme. I think they're smaller than ours. They don't have they have a Harbor Management and Shellfish Commission in East
Yeah.
Lyme. It's a combination. But they don't have the people or the commission take care of the renewals and the paperwork that goes along with it. They offload that to a company in Glastonbury.
Okay.
So our commission does a great thing, I think.
Yeah. And then one more question, since I was learning about moorings and pulley poles.
Sure.
I have a boater in the family, so I asked about the pulley poles. Made me think of the old rope ferry bridge, which was way before all of our time. But so my question: you have expenses, you don't have income. You have the revenue for the moorings.
Correct.
What's the maintenance or upkeep on those? Maybe every year. I don't know if they're on a set cycle or when they
No.
go, they go.
Good question. Pulley poles are inspected by one of 5 different companies, inspected every year per our agreement. Moorings are inspected every 3 years, again by those 5 other companies. It's up to the owner to contract with those companies to have the inspections done.
The owner being the person who paid $100 or the owner?
Yes,
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
yes.
Not us.
No.
That clears up a lot. Thank you. Any other questions? Any other questions? No? All right, hearing none. There's a motion on the floor, which I am obliged to read again. Sorry. We have a motion to accept the request from Harbor Management Commission effective January 1, 2026, to increase their moorings and pulley rates as presented. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Ayes have it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, everyone. Appreciate it. Thank you.
You okay? All right, moving on to number 2. I'll read this slow. To consider and act upon a request from Finance Director Kim Allen to deposit a check for $20,000 from the Mr. Paul Eckerd to be used for treatment, rehab, and continuing protection and maintenance of donated trees at Waterford Beach Park. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Goldstein. Second? Childs. All right.
Madam Moderator.
I'd like
is it
to,
Oh, go ahead. Who was it?
Oh, Representative Childs. I
Somebody
get to
else.
pick.
Oh. So I was wondering if we could make a friendly amendment to that to strike the word "the" in front of Mr. Paul Eckerd and to add into the contributed gift fund as a statement right after the word Eckerd.
To explain where it's being deposited?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. As opposed to in Kim Allen's bank account? Thank you. You okay with that? All right, so now we have an amended motion. Again, any questions? Presentations? This is pretty standard. Sir? Hearing none? We have an amended motion on the floor to consider an act, to approve a request from Finance Director Kim Allen to deposit a check for $20,000 from Mr. Paul Eckerd into the contributed gift fund to be used for treatment, rehab, and continuing protection and maintenance of donated trees at Waterford Beach Park. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Ayes have it. Thank you. Got it? Okay. All right. Number 3. Item number 3, to consider and act upon a recommendation from the Board of Finance for an additional appropriation in the amount of $1,533,238 from the undesignated fund balance of the general fund to a new project line within the Capital Improvements Project Fund for the resurfacing of roads identified in year 1 of the 3-year plan. Do we have a motion? Childs, got him? All right, do we have a presentation? Hi, Gary. Director Snyder. Director Snyder.
Yes. That was my knee again. Yes, thank you, Madam Moderator. The town has made great effort in addressing the needs of our roads. Following an inspection of the road system in 2020, we addressed the worst townwide roads first. That has worked, but I believe that we can improve on this plan. Before you tonight is a 3-year, $400 million plan to address our roads. Working under the guidance of the First Selectman, funds were secured from Eversource to compensate the town for the roads that were that Eversource had installed their gas mains on. Although the focus for the next 2 years will be on the Eversource roads, the plan, still using the 2020 inspection data, adds a further breakdown in our plan, and that is, as shown, it will address the needs in all of the 4 districts, equalizing the funding over the next 3 years. It is not a static plan. The plan as proposed will always be a 3-year plan. If year 1 is approved, the remaining years will move up and a 3rd year will be added to the plan. The plan will continue to propose a $4 million funding level. Funding in future years will be asked during this time period. It is advantageous for the department to see contractors right after the holidays, as they are starting to set up their schedules for the next construction year. If we wait until July 1st, their dance card is already filled, and we are sitting there asking, probing, begging if they can come and fit us into their schedule. Knowing, the contractors knowing that they have town work will work us into the schedule, and that helps everybody out. In general, the plan calls for addressing the roads affected by, first, the installation of the gas mains by Eversource. And as you can see, in year 1, there's a whole section of roads that I've broken down in Eversource, but I've also added other roads in the area. Part of the project would be for Quaker Hill to have the roads addressed in 2 years, because there's a vast amount of roads up there. Roughly using Richards Cove Road as a dividing line. My plan is to address north of Richards Cove Road first, and then the next year, if funds are approved, then do the second portion of that. As part of the projects, all of our paving projects, we do the following. We take a look at all of the catch basin tops to see if they need to be replaced. Same thing for the curbing. After the paving, manholes and what they call valve boxes will be brought up to grade. Currently, right now, we pave over them and then adjust them later. That way we get a nice even ride on it. Traffic markings will be painted if they are existing. We're not proposing of adding any more traffic markings into that area. If you go into the plan just a little bit, I know, we have it divided amongst the years. But as you can see on page 2 of the plan, I've broken them down into District 2, and we have the Eversource affected roads. Those are the roads that the Eversource had installed the gas mains on. We have secured funding for that. The second part is that while we're up in that area, we should be doing some other roads up in District 2. Of course, in District 3, we do have some Eversource impacted roads. Those are the ones that are listed there. And District 4 down in Mago Point, we're planning on addressing those roads. So in general, it's a 3-year plan that I'm proposing. It gives us a good chance to have a plan like this, fairly detailed, but not too detailed, that the town and staff and all the boards and commissions can comment on if we're going in the right direction. So that's my short presentation, Madam Moderator. I'm here to take any questions.
Thank you, Gary. Any questions? Thank you. Representative Mullen.
Through you, Madam Moderator. Hi there. I have a few questions. For the Eversource impacted roads for, I guess, pretty much all of the districts, what is the percentage of the roads that have not connected to natural gas?
Eversource has completed, that's probably a better word to use, all of their installation of their gas mains in the area. They, from what I understand and from information I have from them, they are not looking at tearing up any more roads
Okay.
in the area throughout the town. Now, if there's a major development coming in, they may, but it has to be fairly large for the Eversource to put that money in the road to get gas to someplace. So right now, there's no plan to install any more gas mains
Okay,
in the
I
area.
have a follow-up question. If a new homeowner comes along and they find out a natural gas line hookup is available, they're currently on oil, they have the money to switch to natural gas, the road is, say, freshly paved, they say, I want to dish out this much money, they install natural gas, then they dig up the road again, that impacts a freshly paved road. What is the percentage of the people that have oil, but they're running on natural gas already?
I do not know the percentages of people, of homeowners, of residents that are on natural gas on any road. But to go back to really the question is that on a newly paved road, is there a moratorium on connections? The answer is no. The town of Waterford has no such ordinance or anything else with that. It's not only natural gas, but there's could be a connection or repair of a water line to your house, or it could be actually the main giving way in the road, and heaven forbid. So there's no moratorium. We hope that we'll have a couple years without that scar happening, but we do have inspections in place that they have to put it in properly, compact the soil as it's put back in, the gravel and that's put back in, and put the asphalt down and then crack seal around it. So it's something that is hard not to do, not to plan for, but it's what the utilities need to do, and it's what if the resident wants to hook up, they get to hook up.
But there's no guarantee that this money that we would potentially spend could be wasted on a freshly paved road. Do you know what I'm kind of leading at? That would be then dug up and then having to be repaved again, said 2 years ago, like down the road.
Well, all of the money for Eversource, that was to repair the existing, what their mains that they have put in, their mains and their transmission lines that they've put into the road. The actual hookup itself, there weren't many residents that hooked up as they were installing the mains. So all of this money that you see here on the second page and we received from Eversource was for the initial installation of the transmission lines. If a homeowner would come and ask to hook into natural gas, all that stuff, they would have to pay a contractor or Eversource. I don't know which one brings the connection to the property line, but they would have to pay the contractor to do the work. The town would not be involved in any part of that except for the inspections.
Okay, thank you.
What's that? Representative Condon.
Hey, Gary, just a couple questions. The funding that we've gotten through Eversource, is this a new to me maybe? Is this how Pura is doing this now instead of fixing the roads?
Eversource, when we were talking to Eversource, we were having many discussions with them on the repairs. And they not only were in our town, they were in several other communities. And the issues that they were having is to find a contractor that was acceptable to the town to do the work to the town standards. What they have found is that if they gave the town a reasonable sum of money and let the town do the work, what towns were experiencing, and we did on a couple of our roads, is Eversource was only responsible to really resurface half the road.
Right.
And so what we were going to have is half the road done really well and the other half looking like, why didn't you do it? So Eversource found that working with the towns, and we were the ones that created the estimates for these roads, and Eversource agreed to them, that it was easier, you got a better job done, and the work was done quicker than having Eversource trying to come in there and doing a road or two, trying to find a contractor to do a road or two at a reasonable price. So that was probably a long answer.
Yeah, what I mean by that is, can we expect this type of relationship to continue, or is this a one-off?
I don't think this is a one-off. If there would be another phase of installation of gas mains, a large installation of gas mains, Eversource would be looking to doing the same thing, because it gets, I don't say it gets them off the hook. They're still on the hook for money, but it's a lot easier to manage than having, individual towns or smaller contractors out there. This is what they had supported, and not only Waterford, but a lot of the other towns where they had this program. So I don't think this is a one-off. This is what they would look at doing if they were going to install mains and transmission lines in the area.
Okay, may I continue? I have a couple more. So you have on, looking at your resurfacing plan, year one, you have listed 1.199 for, I'm assuming that's our cost, because it doesn't include the money that we're getting from Eversource. It's the page that says resurfacing
Right.
program 2026 through 2028.
Right. Let me just go to it, because well, there's year one and two. That's
Right,
what's
so
come for
year
Eversource.
one, year
There-
one's 1.199,
And
so let's call it 1.2 just for easy.
right,
But we're
And-
actually, that's the taxpayer portion, because on the previous page of our packet, it's actually $2 million. But that's, I'm just making sure I have the math right here. So that's, the 1.1 is, or
Correct.
the 1.2 is what the taxpayer's on the hook for, minus the amount that we're receiving for Eversource for half of the roads.
well, okay, if you looked at the CIP page, it's 1.5 million, I'm rounding the numbers, $1.5 million from Town of Waterford funds.
Right.
And then there's that portion's about $540,000 is the Eversource funds, and then next year is the remainder of the Eversource funds. So we split them up per road.
Right, the next year is 2.25.
Correct.
I'm just trying to make,
Yep, right.
because if we add up the numbers on the page of the capital plan, it's 4.922, and your plan calls for 4.1.
All the math should have followed through.
It was, it was difficult, that's why I'm asking.
Yeah, it's
And the other question is, with that is, you have allowances of 250 that equal the 4.1, but like District 1 has 1 year of paving, and they have an allowance of 250. All the other districts have 2 years of paving with the same allowance.
right. Since we did not do detailed estimates of the number of manholes that need to be raised, the number of linear feet of curbing that needs to be replaced, of the number of catch basin tops that need to come out, I just assigned a blanket allowance on each one of those areas. If the money is not used, I can't use it for anything else, and the
Right.
money would just go back into the accounts through the finance director, who monitors of what our project are. So I just put I don't want to call it a plug number, but it kind of is for each of those areas. But we did not have the opportunity or the staff to go through each road and saying there's 4 manholes there, there's 2 catch basins there, and add everything up quickly. So I just, did $250,000 for each district.
Yeah. And my last question is, in year 3, you have the remainder of the Wild Rose Avenue A, that neighborhood.
Yes.
That neighborhood was identified by VBH or VHB 6 years ago. Under that, we did half of that neighborhood. They kept getting bumped because we did sidewalks, and now that neighborhood's been pushed to the final year of this plan. I know that we're not approving that tonight, but I'm asking that if we could look at moving District 4 to year 3 and District 1, because they only have 1 year of paving, and it's the least amount in this plan, moving them to year 2, which it's the same cost. It's not impacted by Eversource, only because those residents in those neighborhoods have waited. They've seen their roads come up and watched it go by because of the issues we've talked about with the sidewalks. So that would be my only ask.
Okay. I'll work with the first selectman on
Thank you.
that guidance.
Yeah.
Representative Mullen-Cole.
Do you, Madam Moderator? Thank you. My question is, are we going to see any of these projects, resurfacing projects, in this year's budget?
No, the plan is that these are my resurfacing funds. These are what I'm going to request. This is the capital project. And none of the there's only very minor resurfacing projects for roads, very, very minor, are included in the operations budget. So the simple answer is you will not see them. See anything else. It's here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Representative Sullivan, did you have a question? All set? Any other questions? Stick your hands out real high. I'm not used to seeing them yet. All right, I just have one question for you then, if there are no others. She had asked if it'd be on the capital project. This is a 3-year plan. As you said, you've got the 3-year plan. When I first read it, I thought I should know about this plan, but it's new this year.
Yes.
This is your first request, and from the CIP form that I see, you're asking the bulk of your funds is coming from the undesignated fund balance, otherwise known as what's left of the surplus, correct?
Correct. I'll look at my finance director, but correct.
Yeah. Okay, so year 2 and 3 from this same form you're projecting. I think that's what we're asking for. When we see the budgets for FY27, are we going to see similar numbers here for year 2 and 3 as part of the capital plan?
From a department aspect, well, the answer will be yes. I'll be working with the finance director to see if there are funds available, or if it's reasonable for that ask for the second and third year. It really may be less. This is my 6th year here, but previous to that, the surfacing funds were $400,000, $500,000, $600,000. That study from 2020 said that we should plan to spend $1.6 million per year on our roads to keep them in the same levels, the same condition. Improving would cost more money. So what I took a look at is that guidance and placed it in there. The outlying years, I will get with the finance director to see where the funds are available, if they are available at that price. Of course, working with the first selectman as he puts the budgets together. So it's a place where I had ID'd the numbers. I don't know if there'll be fund balance left at that point in time, or whether it can be used for that. So.
Okay, so just a follow-up question. You don't have to give out your strategy now for your capital project requests, which, go to the first selectman. But the way you explained it, you're looking to see if there'll be a projection that we will have leftover funds at the end of the year to give you that money? Or are you going to prioritize this as we need to do this based on your statement from the information you got, which we should be devoting more money to get our roads up to par?
For each year, I do put the capital projects together for the Public Works Department and for the buildings. But for the Public Works Department, we do prioritize our needs, or the needs, what we see as a department head. And road resurfacing is always number one. It helps economic development, it helps travel, it helps safety. It's all of those things, and it services the whole public. So this will always be my number one ask, if the money's available, or what, and where it can be taken from, whether it can be appropriated from. That I work with the first selectman and finance director to make that presentation to the RTM.
Okay, thank you, Gary. Representative Morshead.
Thank you, through you, Madam Moderator. Hi, Gary.
Hello.
All right, there's a reason why I'm a social worker and not a mathematician. I'm not that, I can't make the math. So I guess my question is, and you might have answered this, so I apologize if it just didn't rattle enough in my head. So, and I'm just looking for clarification. So on our agenda, it is, this is the correct one, right? Yeah, okay, so 1.533238 from the undesignated fund balance for resurfacing roads identified in year one of the 3-year plan. But then when I add up year one on the resurfacing program chart, it comes up $1,199 and or whatever 1,199,951. So there's a discrepancy there, and I am just wondering why. And again, I could be wrong. I'm just trying to make it work in my head.
Madam Moderator, there, if I can see that there are two different numbers. One says 1533283, but the call sheet says 38, not 83. So that might be the math that's not mathing. You see what I mean?
Well, I guess my question, and thank you, Tim. So, okay. All right. Thank you. I'm all set. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Fioravanti. Would you like to make an amendment to the motion so that we can correct this number, assuming that the letter from the Board of Finance has the correct dollar amount? You're not going to ask him. Representative Condon.
I'm sorry, I just want to clarify, working with Ms. Moorhead. The number that you have listed is 1.199. If we add up that plus the allowances for that year, it still doesn't equal the 1.533 that you're asking for. It equals,
That's what I'm coming up with
was
right
like-
now. It's like, hold on.
it's like 1.4.
He did some math.
Yeah, I know the last two numbers were reversed, but it still didn't fix it.
He's got some.
Oh, got it.
It's a difference of that.
Okay, looks like somebody has the answer, though.
All right.
333,000 is a difference.
If you take a look at that chart, you can see that they're doing the allowances for $1 million. So if you take that 1 million, divide it by 3 for the 3 years and add it in, it adds up to 1,533,283.
That's what I think.
So you're
it is.
dividing 1 million divided by 3, and you get a kind of a little wonky number.
Right, which doesn't make sense because the allowances for that year, that's why I asked the question about the allowances, says 250.
But
But
divided by 3
but the number
years.
at the bottom, I get it.
Yeah,
I get it. But that's why I asked also when it doesn't make sense, because if District 1 only has 1 year of paving, by dividing it by 3, you're giving that, it's not equal, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's just difficult.
I'm watching Gary. He's fingering. Do you have a different explanation?
No.
No.
No. I'll be perfectly honest with you. I put this together. I believed all the numbers follow through. I'm not going to make up an answer. I don't have an answer right now on why that difference is there.
Okay, then my follow-up question, I guess, is the typo in our agenda item. Yeah. Board of Finance recommended, or their letter said, 283. I can ask the finance director, do you have a recollection, or that seemed to hold true when I went through their minutes? That was the same number they used, so.
Correct. That, they voted on that amount and voted it.
All right, well then, technically, we'll have to change it. Looking for an amendment to the motion. not voting on the motion. I just want to get this number straightened out while we
Yeah.
talk about the others.
Madam Moderator, I think we figured out why it's not mathing there. So, again, going back to District 1 having an allowance of 250, and every other district having an allowance of 250, but District 1 only getting 1 year of paving, the allowance should be half of that, then added up, like Ms. Bennett said, divided by the 3 years would give you the new total for each year equally, if we're doing the math right, and then that would be the new total, if that makes sense.
And that new total would be?
I haven't done the math yet. I'm gonna try. Stand by.
Representative Gonzalez has a calculator.
Of a million. I added 1/3 of a million to the 1,199,950 plus, 1/3 of a million came to 1,533,283 and 33 cents. So that is the amount, the 83, which is on the original one, not our call.
Would you like to make the amendment since you did the math?
Okay. So, it's really what's on the Board of Finance's paperwork.
Oh, just amend the motion to change
So
the dollar
We
value.
would just like to amend
Excuse me, point of
the.
order.
Yes.
Kristen, I just want to make sure the math's right. You
Yeah.
want to give them more money, which I don't believe we can do,
Um,
because you said 83.
yes, but the
This is
Board
what
of Finance,
gave
Oh,
the
they
Board
said
of Finance has the correct number on
the-
their form, but our call has the wrong.
Yes,
So
you're,
as long
you're
as the
fine.
Board of Finance matches the Board of Finance.
Yes,
'cause
it
you
matches.
can't
Yes,
give more.
sir.
Yeah, it matches the Board of Finance.
We're on top of this. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so I'd like to make an amendment to change the dollar amount on the call to $1,533,283, which is what is written in the Board of Finance report.
Got it? Thank you. Any other discussion? No questions? I guess we could do a comment. Representative Khan.
Through you, Ms. Moderator. I don't know, to have this happen right now, like to have that come in front of us and then we're all trying to make the math, that just doesn't feel right to me. I feel like we should have the correct stuff in front of us when we're voting for it. So if we could just, work on making that happen, that'd be great. Sorry. Okay.
Is your mic on?
It is now. Thank you. Any other questions, comments? Hearing none, we have an amended motion. To approve a recommendation from the Board of Finance for an additional appropriation in the amount of $1,533,283 from the undesignated fund balance of the general fund to a new project line within the Capital Improvements Project Fund for the resurfacing of roads identified in year 1 of the 3-year plan. Okay?
I don't want to interrupt,
No.
Ms. Moderator, but was the first, are we taking the motion to change the amount to 1
We did a
million
friendly
500?
amendment.
We did do that as a friendly amendment, so I didn't get anybody to approve that.
No.
So can
They,
I
I
just
mean,
get
they okayed it.
Childs and Morris head, are they okay with that? Absolutely.
Yeah. We're good. That's why you're here. Thank you. All right. All in favor, unless you'd like me to read it again. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Representative Mullen? Any other noes? We just need a hand up so we can see. And just the one. And abstain.
Morris head, Condon, Morris head, okay.
All set? Okay. Motion passes. I was waiting for you to tell me. Didn't want to assume. All right, item number 4. To consider and act upon a recommendation from the Board of Finance to move $25,000 from the undesignated fund balance of the Capital Non-Recurring Expenditure Fund number 205-31520 to a new project line called the Library Electrical Project. Do I hear a motion? Where's that, Kyra? Okay. Another presentation, Kim?
This one will be briefer. What we have here is the issue with the main service that comes in from the poles outside the library. Down, it goes underground conduit, and of course into a mechanical room. We did pass around some pictures that are in color, and I apologize we didn't have enough, but if you can share the ones that don't have it. What we have, or what I have found as as I found in several of the buildings, is as I go through the buildings themselves, taking a look at what condition they're in and where we should be at, is that there was water leaking in from the main conduit in from the riser on the pole down underground into the main distribution switch. Water in an electrical panel is never good. Water in a 600 amp 3-phase 220 volt panel is really not good. Water in a panel, just real quickly, can cause corrosion, which can corrode the metal components like wires, terminals, and breakers to rust and corrode, increasing the resistance, which creates more heat. Not good. More heat in an area, we could add failure to one of the lugs or one of the connections. The weakened connections, the corrosion weakens the electrical connection, leading to poor connectivity and potential system failure. That's not good either. Moisture in the wires itself, or in the insulation of the wires, again, it increases the risk of future shocks. Water is conductive. We all know that, and having a water pool on the floor where other employees, service employees, can enter this area and step on the water could cause a serious electrical shock. The thing is that if we have a failure of the service to the building is closed. The building is shut down. There is nothing there. It will take us months to get a service back online. This is a main service. To replace the service will require funds up front, and we do have a proposal. That's why I'm only asking for the engineering work, because we do have an estimate of what it would cost to complete the construction side of it, but Eversource is going to control some of this. They own the transformers on the pole. They will not replace them. They will replace them with a pad-mounted transformer. And that will be meet their standards. They will maintain that transformer, but that will include new conduits into the building. We are recommending that we take the service from the street and make that connection to the transformer. Closer to the street, eliminating some poles and overhead wires that are there. Since the electrical service going into the building, then it comes back out again and feeds the parking lot lighting, and those parking lot lights have been there forever, and it'll be an opportune time to do the replacement of those. So that's part of the design. So what we're looking at here is to get design money. So the design engineer will reach out to Eversource and work with Eversource's engineers on designing something that is doable. Something that meets their codes and standards, and of course meets all the electrical standards, and then come up with a cost estimate. At that time, I would be coming back to the boards and commissions asking for funds for the construction. We're looking probably in a neighborhood of $175,000 to replace this service, and to replace the service, which is the wires into the building, the conduits, and of course the panels in the building. It's a critical piece. If the failure happens, we're sitting there paying a lot more money, getting everything done on an emergency basis with Eversource and with our contractors to get the service up and running. So what I'm requesting is design money to prepare the plans and specifications, and then to come back for dollars for the construction.
Thank you, Gary. Any questions? Representative Khan.
Through you, Madam Moderator. Hi, Gary. Is there like a timeline on completion for the whole project?
From what my design engineers said, and they've done some preliminary work, the design is fairly not simple, but it's straightforward. It's getting into Eversource's Schedule 2 with their design people, so that could take a couple months, 3 months. And then after that is working with putting it out to bid with Eversource Place, getting the transformer. And from what I understand, transformers are not hanging around in some shop somewhere, is that they are made. It could be up to a year and before it's all completed.
Thank you.
Thank you. No follow-up? Representative Green, did you have a question? All set. Representative Bennett.
So you had said this was just for the design part of the project, and the rest of it was about 175 to complete the project. Is that already designated?
No, it isn't. It's not.
Okay, so once the design is done and if the 25,000 goes to the design, then you would come back and ask us again for more? And that could be a
yes.
year from now, or that would be sooner?
Hopefully that'll be within 3 months.
Okay.
We will try to shorten that, but we have to work with Eversource's workload with their engineers. It's not a big project, but it's just getting, like anything, into their schedule.
And then is there any other simple way of resolving it, like putting a cap or something on top so the water doesn't continue to go through this as we're waiting for the project?
We will send our contractor up there again and put more, I call it goop gunk, on the pipes that go up. That should stop it, but there's water that is still sitting in the conduits
I was
there.
just wondering if, by the time we do design and then we get the project in and then we get things moving, we don't want that disaster emergency to come up like you described.
Correct. No,
Okay.
we do not want anyone. Don't want it flooding anymore. During those heavy rains, so the contractor will be sent up there and to add the gunk. There's a technical term for it, but
I prefer gunk, I can understand that.
Representative Mullen.
Through you, Madam Moderator. Wouldn't you consider this emergent due to the fact that it's electricity and water?
yeah, it was if we keep people out of the room and if we stop the water from entering through the pipe, well, and that sounds bad, like we let the library lets people in there or has a uses the room for something else. If we manage what we have there, manage the conditions that we have there, is it an emergency? I'm going to say not really. It's critical. I would rather use that word because if that box fails, if that service fails, then we are really have a problem. Have a lot of more funding that will be required for on an emergency level because the library needs to be put back up again. So if we manage what we have right here, the damage is there. We don't want any more damage to happen. We want to keep people safe in that room when they need to go in there, which means we keep the water off the floor. We do all those types of items. It is critical that this work gets done. Is it an emergency? Not yet. When the power goes off in the building, then it becomes an emergency.
I just have a follow-up. I'm just going to give a comment. God forbid that somebody leaves the door unlocked accidentally. This is a library. This is a public space. This is a library where children go. God forbid a child enters this area. It is raining. There's water on the floor by accident. You see where I'm leading with this?
Yes, and
This is then emergent.
This is not in a public area. This is in the basement, and the doors are locked.
God forbid the door is unlocked.
Oh, correct. There's things, but as an emergency, I'm seeking appropriations. The engineer has a proposal already. He's given us a proposal. He's ready to start the work. Once he receives a purchase order, for me to get a purchase order, I need the monies appropriated and to move forward. As quick as he can get through the Eversource's engineering division and his work there, then he can create a good cost estimate. That cost estimate, then I'll work through the boards and commissions to seek those construction funds.
But from the proof of your pictures, it looks like it has gone on for quite some time.
Correct. Many of our buildings have issues, not quite like this, but there's been other issues that I've been not taking a look at, finding out, and then working through, seeking in the right way to do things. So this is one of those items that should have been addressed years ago. Yes, absolutely, positively, 100%.
So I will say I am going to go forward and, in my opinion, approve the funding. But when you come back for that we go forward and hopefully we can waive the 14-day
That'd be great.
that you request that as well, because this is something that's clearly very unsafe, in my opinion. Thank you.
Through you, Madam Moderator. Gary, this just raised a question about our other buildings. How was this found? Is this just a regular evaluation? Did it just happen?
It was brought to my attention from another team member that there was water on the floor, and then when I went down and looked at it, it was with my limited expertise in power and electric. I'm a civil engineer, but that was like, that's not well. So, and a lot of the buildings, I'm finding out things that were not swept underneath the carpet, but not really addressed. And by having all the buildings under one department head, under one area of responsibility, I can take a look at things. I look at things a little bit differently. I'm not worried about whether the budgets will support the programming that the building requires. I look at what the building needs to be safe so that department heads can provide those items, those things that they do. Other buildings, it's ventilations. We have instances where end of service life doesn't mean end of life. End of service life means you should replace the light bulb before it goes out. That's very simple. Not when it goes out and you're in the dark. The end of service life is programmed replacements. End of life is literally end of life. It is done. End of life at the library was the air conditioning systems. They were at the end of life, not the end of service life. That was years ago. When I first came here too, it was the same thing with the underground tanks. A lot of them were approaching a time when they needed to come out of the ground quickly because they were nearing the end of their, not only their service life, but their life. So I'm looking at those items, catching those items, working them through the process, and then bringing those issues up to the boards and commissions, and of course through the first selectman.
Yeah, Gary, through you. I understand, Gary, you have a lot on your plate. There's a lot of buildings. There's a lot of things you have to be aware of. My concern moving forward, so this doesn't become emergent, do we have people in other buildings that act as a liaison, if you will, that go around and do like a punch list check, whether it's weekly, monthly, and then get that back to you so something doesn't get this emergent?
In our two major buildings, yes, we do. At the community center, there is Megan, I forget her last name. She's like more than the building monitor, but all the work orders go through her. She walks around the building. She takes all of the information from all the people that are programming or from the citizens that use that building, and then we go and we have a work order system where we are recording the issues. At the library, they also have a person there, Mike, who does the same thing. He looks at all the components, all the issues, and he reports things back to us. At the police station, it's usually the chief of police gives me a call, so he's looking at his building. So we do have it covered in a way, and what we do have right now is that when they call Public Works, it's recorded, and then it's addressed. And it's addressed that the Board of Ed may be able to do it, one of my Public Works staff may be able to do the work, very minor work, or if we have to, then we contract out through a list of contractors that we have throughout the town that we do it. So we do have a reporting system coming in. I think the biggest thing in the prior times is something was seen, something was asked for, and it was never recorded anywhere, so it kind of got lost, pushed to the back burner, and then it's a new fiscal year, and it just never got addressed well. We do have that process right now where people can call in. But the two major buildings out of the library has a person dedicated, Mike, and the community center, which is Megan, and it really works well.
Just one more, moderator. Gary, my concern is in your answer. You said in a way. My concern is every building, because I know our first select person has faculty meetings, every building, because you have a lot on your plate. Every building should have some person that does a walkthrough. And stuff gets missed, whether it's weekly or whether it's monthly, because in a way doesn't really, I hate to say it, is a disappointment to me, because I've grown up here, and the last thing I want to see is have an issue because we have, in a way, a process. Every building should have somebody who walks through their building, whether it's, and you folks are the ones that should figure out whether it's weekly, whether it's monthly, and jot stuff down. So in a faculty meeting, it comes up and then it gets back to you. Because I also think it's unfair to you to have to oversee every single building at every single little thing, because things get missed. We're all fallible, every single one of us, including the people sitting at these tables. But my concern is your answer is in a way. It should not be in a way. Every building should have somebody whose job or responsibility is to do a walkthrough. And if you see something, say something. We see it all the time. That way we avoid these emergent situations. And I'm not saying you're going to avoid every single one, but I think it would be handled better. My concern is your answer to our questions is in a way. It shouldn't be in a way. Every building should have somebody that could report something. It goes directly to you and it gets on our list, because it does take a while to get through this system. It's unfortunate. It's the way our political system works. I wish it was quicker, but at the very least, we should have a plausible system for every single building that helps you out so we can get good information. Thank you.
Representative Khan.
So just so everybody knows, we are working on this in long-term fiscal planning, kind of coming up with a reorganization system, like really organized to kind of help alleviate this issue. So hopefully we'll work on that and have something soon.
Any other questions? Representative Condon.
Gary, have you spoken to Eversource about this project?
My design engineer has.
Yeah. Is there, just out of curiosity, so, and it doesn't say here, you're saying that you're going to have the pad-mounted transformer come off of a pole. Are we looking to traverse the street?
No.
Why not?
That's a state road, and to underground a wire from across the street and then trench through a state road, that is an option, but it's cost. It's added cost. There is a pole on the library side of the state road there that we could bring the power down, and then to the pad-mounted transformer, which would probably be set in the same location.
Yep.
In that area there. New conduits will be run into the building, and then there will be a period of time once everything is, quote, up and running, they'll disconnect the old, connect the new, take the wires down.
Did they specifically tell you that they won't use transformers on poles anymore?
Correct. They will not.
They will not.
They will not. That there's they don't like them. If a pole comes down, there's an issue. A pad-mounted transformer for them, it's safer.
Yeah.
Provides power.
And where's the meter in this building? Because it doesn't, you show the main disconnect, but it doesn't show where the meter is. Is it next to this?
Good question. In my mind's eye, it should be, but I do not know.
The reason is, Most of this project is actually going to look like it's on the hook of Eversource to complete, especially if this were categorized as an emergency.
If it was an emergency, they do the the pad mounted transformer. They will have, usually the contractor, the owner's contractor will run the conduits from the building to it. They will pull the wires though in those conduit. Eversource will pull the wires from their transformer into the main panel. They will do that.
Yeah, that's why I asked where the meter is, because that's where the handshake occurs,
Yeah,
what
yeah.
we're responsible for versus what they're responsible for. So this may hopefully come in under budget, but I think we should explore. We spent a lot of money on the duck pond, and it would be nice to get things underground. And if we do have to traverse the street, I think it's worth our while to at least investigate.
Any other questions? Any other comments, concerns? No? All right, hearing none, we have a motion on the table. To consider and act upon a recommendation from the Board of Finance to move $25,000 from the undesignated fund balance of the Capital Non-Recurring Expenditure Fund number 205-31520 to a new project line called Library Electrical Project. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstain? Thank you. I think you're done, Gare.
And I'll be looking for my Sharpie for a second, so it took off onto the floor.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's under that chair. Yeah. Huh? No, I just. All right. Now, we are on to, zipping right along, number 5. To consider and act upon a recommendation from the Board of Finance for an appropriation in the amount of $210,000 from designated line number 20501-57369, CNR revaluation, for property revaluation project to Vision Government Solutions, Inc. Do we have a motion? Childs, a second. Childs Khan. Good. All right. Oh, there's Paige. Hi, Paige.
Hi.
You are moving things right along. Thank you.
Just to address, Madam Moderator, your earlier question regarding the First Selectman's letter to OPM from about a month ago or so. So we do have an update. About 2 weeks ago, representatives from the town of Stonington, First Selectman Brule and I met with Martin Heft of OPM. What we were seeking was actually a delay, 1-year delay in the scheduled 2029 revaluation. We had a productive conversation at that time, conveyed to Mr. Heft of OPM the undue financial burden that would be placed on the town if we would essentially have to be conducting 3 revaluations in an 8-year time period, with little to no benefit to residents. The indication at that time from Mr. Heft was that we would have to be seeking special legislation, each town that was seeking this delay, in the year prior to the revaluation. However, we were pleasantly surprised that just late last week, we received an email from Mr. Heft, and they decided to just forego that special legislation request, and they changed the reval schedule. So we have a delay to 2030. So that was the update
Much
on that.
better.
Yes.
Special legislation is the kiss of death.
Yeah.
Yes.
And as for the appropriation in front of you all tonight, that's for the mandated 2026 revaluation. In late August, we put out requests for proposals. We received 2, one from Vision Government Solutions, the other one from Municipal Valuations. After a thorough review, we have decided to award the contract to Vision Government Solutions.
Okay, thank you. Any questions? Any comments? Representative Goldstein.
To you, Madam Moderator. First page, Rob, thank you very much for going to bat for the town of Waterford. We always talk about how we want to make our town more affordable. Doing that reeval would have made it more unaffordable for a lot of our citizens. So I want to thank you for taking the initiative, both you and Rob, and the folks from Stonington, as well as, I think, Guilford, for taking that on. Because if you don't do that, we would have had another reeval. So thank you very much for putting that forward and taking that initiative. And the citizens of the town of Waterford, thank you for making it more affordable. Thank you.
I have a defective mic. Any other questions? Any other concerns? You just did. Representative Childs.
Through you, Moderator Driscoll. So my question is around where this shows up in our budget. This was something we knew that was coming this time around. Was this, we had budgeted for it, and we saw that in May, and so this is now, we're putting that money forward?
Correct, right.
Okay, thank you. I just wanted to clarify. Thank you.
Any other questions? Representative Condon.
Is this the same company that did the last eval?
It is.
It is. Okay, thank you.
That was it. Any other questions? Well, everybody's still thinking. All right. So it's already been awarded, Board of Finance appropriated, designated. You don't have to come back to us for that, right?
Right.
Excellent. One last chance for questions. Everyone's all set on the motion on the table. To consider and act upon a recommendation from the Board of Finance for an appropriation in the amount of $210,000 from designated line 20501-57369 CNR revaluation for property revaluation project awarded to Vision Government Solutions, Inc. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstain? Ayes have it. Motion passes. Thank you, Paige.
Thank you.
Really don't like this. Moving on to number 6. To consider and act upon a recommendation from the Board of Finance for an additional appropriation in the amount of $88,640 from the unassigned fund balance of the general fund to the designated lines number 10123-51410 for $73,293. Line 10123-53111, $8,584. Line 10123-52370, $4,463. And line 10123-52310, $2,300 to support the hiring of 2 full-time firefighter EMTs. Do we have? Did you catch them?
No, I did not.
Con? All set? Okay, do we have a presentation?
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to anyone that's new. I'm glad to not be the only new face in the room anymore. I have some of you with me. Just a quick review. I know all that's in there is just line item numbers. The initial line items here, all 4 of them, are a comprehensive onboarding costs to include physicals, 52310, so comprehensive medical exams for the new hires. Their associated uniforms, 52370, and 53111 would be the personal protective equipment. In addition to the 410, it is the salary and personnel costs. So that's the, I know that the actual breakdown of what those line items are is not in there. So with that, I'm open to any questions if anyone has any.
Representative Valencio?
Hi, Chris.
There's so many. There you are. There's so many of you up there.
Hey, first of all, I really appreciate you going forward, actually ahead of my schedule. I know you talked about in the past 6 months, hiring another 3 fire service people. Would that be in next year's budget, 26, 27?
These actually make it 3. We had
does.
one part-time firefighter that we've already moved to full-time status just through some other internal transfers and savings. So yeah, a little ahead of schedule due to some internal movements and savings and things that we've made. So this appropriation actually makes 2 and 3.
Great, appreciate it. I'm
Yep.
totally supportive of this. The sooner the better. Thank you.
Thank you. Representative Moorhead, do you have a question?
Through you, Madam Moderator. Hi. I feel like I haven't seen you in forever. So I was actually going to say what I was going to ask what Tim was asking, but I also wanted to say thank you for coming forward and asking for the money for the positions. This is close to my heart, and thank you for.
Mine too.
Yeah, I'll bet. So that's it. Thank you.
Representative Khan.
Through you, Madam Moderator. Hi, Chris. I took notes, and I'm having a little bit of an issue reading them, but I think my question was, do you, as far as the response times, do we have, do we know how much?
That
Like, do you have a number?
is I'm glad you brought that up. One of the main goals of this is to try to be able to answer that question going forward with a consistent answer. So what this allows us to do is take a station, Oswegatchie, that's been staffed part-time up in, Jeff tells me 3 inches, and I'll stop popping the microphone. It allows us to take a station that's been historically part-time up until this point and make it full-time, which with that comes that consistency and being able to answer that question going forward and being able to measure ourselves and determine how good of a job are we doing and how much better of a job do we want to do. So without that ability right now, it leads to a lot of inconsistencies in times because the fire department you're dealing with between 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. is very different than the fire department you're dealing with from 4:01 p.m. until 8 a.m. the next day. By that, I mean the part-time versus full-time model. So by its very nature, part-time staffing can be very inconsistent. So being able to bring this station online to that full-time status allows us to begin laying that foundation to actually be able to keep score on the game and measure how well we're doing. So right now, can I answer that with any degree of certainty? Not more than 33% of the time. But hopefully going forward, this is the foundation where we can start gathering that data. And to Mr. Alinsu's point, that's why it was, to me, such a rush to get that on board in line with the presentations that I made through Town Hall, so we can start measuring our effectiveness.
Okay. Second question, real quick.
Absolutely.
I know it takes a while, but I'm just wondering, when could we anticipate, the ISO rating or the report? I know it takes. Is that happening?
Not technically tied to this. That's as soon as we want to trigger that review, we could call up and look for, as long as ISO is willing to commit their people to it based on the schedule. But we would request that. That's not something that's on my immediate radar right now. But that's something that we would request internally. That takes quite some time for them to complete their audit and things like that, go through and check through any of the major target properties, see that any changes of occupancies and things like that, so that we would be able to undergo that review. But parallel roads, kind of the same end goal, quality of service and service delivery, but kind of 2 separate things right now. Yeah.
Thanks.
Representative Gonzalez.
Sorry, through you, Ms. Moderator. Chris, does this mean, when you say to full-time status, does that mean 24/7 coverage, or is that just daytime coverage?
24/7, 365.
All right, thank you.
Kind of like 7-Eleven, just no Slurpees.
Any other questions? Representative Goldstein.
Through you, Madam Moderator. Yeah, whatever works, Chris, first of all, I think you're doing an excellent job. I echo what Mr. Representative Linsu said. I think the best thing that you started, is the road show. I hope that you continue that road show, education, 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 versus the rage and the machine, because I'm sure you know about the things that get said on social media, and things getting questioned and concerned. And it seems like the information that gets put on the rage versus the machine devices are never quite, you're not sure how accurate they are. And those road shows, whether they're attended by one person or 100 people, are extremely important, because we need to educate. We need to do a better job of educating our citizenry about the job that you folks do and how important it is. The fact that most people still don't understand that we only now own one fire department, and we don't own any ambulance departments. So it's very important to get that information out any way, shape, or form, but accurately. And I think you do a great job of doing that. And I hope that you continue to do those road shows so we continue to educate our public, because it seems to be no matter how many people are on the RTM and no matter how many times people try, it's never enough. So I hope that you continue to do those road shows to educate our public and our citizenry, so not only do we become safer, people are more educated and are up to speed with what's going on. So thank you for the job that you're doing.
Thank you. And hopefully you all help as communication conduits outward also. I appreciate any help that we can. You know, our guys do a great job. They do a fantastic job for you and your constituents. I think they're the best billboard we have, but I can definitely always benefit from some other people echoing the good work that they do. So I appreciate it.
Any other questions? Any other questions? Okay, I just have one. Should be easy. And I'm sorry I've lost track. Was really happy to see this. Did enjoy all three of your road shows. Should have taped them so you could just play them. The question now is, all right, so these are the three that we've been talking about for like 3 years before you were here. So with these last two, what is our full-time firefighter head count?
Okay, yeah. So part of the education that, as Mr. Goldstein was talking about, is one of the important things is trying to work everyone away from the total head count, if you will, and more into the terms of shift strength. So
Yeah.
this takes our current shift strength, which moved to from 5 to 6 last fiscal year, from 6 to 7. That means how many are currently on duty at any given time. So at the beginning of last fiscal year, prior to my arrival, we were at 5. We closed the fiscal year at 6. This is bringing us to 7 in this fiscal year on duty, for a total of 21 full-time firefighters by the time these two are hired. And I'm very happy to say that we have one fantastic candidate we've already identified in interviews, who should be ready to hit the ground running as soon as you all hopefully give me a wonderful thumbs up tonight. I can't wait. I'm sure he's watching at home on the YouTube live stream. So we're working on it as fast as we possibly can. I hear you all, and we're working on it as fast as we possibly can.
Okay, so thank you. The shift strength. I get the shift strength.
Yep.
I was gonna move to the shift strength. I just wanted a 21. We've heard numbers that go anywhere from 13 to 19, depending on who we ask. So 17. I know that we lost some part-timers. One became a full-timer, so that counts as a loss.
Yep.
That we're still using to supplement, and that's the goal, to get them into the, for lack of a better word, outlying stations as soon as possible. But
Yep. Yeah. So part of the mathing that will hopefully math for us in a night of mathing for mathing is by being able to transition a station that's already been budgeted for part-time hours, by getting that moved over to full-time, hopefully 5 to 6 months left in the fiscal year. It allows us to unmath some of that math and push those hours out primarily to the Quaker Hill station. And by, you're kind of canceling out hours for hours, dollars for dollars, through full-time hours, taking over at one station and being able to re-dollar for dollar those hours somewhere else.
Okay. Thank you. Excellent plan. One last call. Oh, see, that always happens. Representative Condon.
Hey, Chris, how are you?
Hanging
Quick
in there.
question for you. So when we move to 7, is 7 our new minimum manning state?
There is no minimum manning. There's no contractual minimum manning standard.
I know that, but I
Yeah.
mean, by us approving 7, are we going to be dropping down or browning out stations if people are calling out, or is 7 the number?
There is no contractual obligation to maintain a minimum. There's a standard shift of 5. Do I have an intention of browning out stations? Absolutely not. If we take a step forward, I would not like to see us take any steps back.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think, and the reason I say this is I think a lot of people here, you and I understand that there's no minimum manning, but when we approve a number, I think that's what everybody's kind of expecting, is that we're going to stay at 7. So when we see 7, we want the 7 on. So I know that there's no minimum manning. I'm just voicing that. I know it's not there, but if we approve 7, there should be 7.
Okay, one more time, last call for questions. Hearing none? Motion on the table. I'd like to thank you right now for putting all those numbers into this request.
Sorry.
It's okay. That's what I get the big bucks for, Chris. To consider and act upon a recommendation from the Board of Finance for an additional appropriation in the amount of $88,640 from the unassigned fund balance of the general fund to the designated lines number 10123-51410, $73,293. Line 10123-53111, $8,584. Line 10123-52370, $4,463. And line 10123-52310, $2,300 to support the hiring of 2 full-time firefighters EMTs. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstain? 1 abstention? Okay. Ayes have it, motion passed.
Thank you.
Ready? Number 7. Oh, geez. To consider and act upon a recommendation from the Board of Finance for an appropriation in the amount of $49,102 from designated line 20523-57777, Fire Service SCBA Upgrade Program for the, that's not redundant, SCBA Upgrade Program. Okay, go for it, Chris. One sentence will do it.
Yeah. Just just to give you hopefully some confidence in what we're doing financially is, like I said, trying to find as many internal efficiencies as we can. The SCBA Fire Service SCBA Upgrade Program was a capital project that was started years prior to me, and it continues for years after me. Through the declining numbers in the department, we found that, the number of SCBAs that were being maintained and operated by the department was excessive. We were able to find some targeted reductions in that and repurpose these funds to upgrade and replace some of our outdated confined space rescue equipment. Just as I came through the door, there was a number of issues brought up through the with the Utility Commission as far as the confined space rescue capabilities and things like that. We understood there was a need that we needed to upgrade our capabilities and advance some of our equipment that had been aging out. So I targeted that already approved capital project to try and repurpose that instead of spending operating capital on it. So we were able to repurpose a number of those funds, take advantage of it, increase our capabilities, upgrade some of our stuff, and also with that, through the hard work of our members, be able to identify dual-use equipment that will also be working to prepare us towards tower rescue, some of the things that will help us below ground in utility vaults and utility pits will also be able to help us above ground. As you know, the radio system is going under overhaul through the coming years, which is going to have a lot of tower work going on. So your Waterford Fire Department is hopefully going to be equipped to service you as far as 90 feet below ground and as far as 220 feet above ground, all in the same repurposing of funds. So I know you said 1 sentence, but you got about 13.
I've met you. I knew we would get about 13, but it would be very informative. Thank you. Any questions? Representative Franklin.
All right, I got my mic to work. So some of this equipment, is this like scheduled, will this be scheduled maintenance? And if so, what sort of timeline will there be?
So the portion of it that is breathing apparatus undergoes a yearly flow test. It's called. They put it on a machine to make sure it's functioning out properly, and then every 5 years it goes through what's called hydrostatic testing. So the air bottles that have to maintain pressure, they get hydrostatic tested every 5 years. It's in line with the normal Scott packs that are worn in fires. These are just smaller versions of those that can go into small spaces like utility vaults and things like that. So it undergoes the same routine maintenance that anything does, and then the hazardous gas monitoring equipment we have serviced quarterly and calibrated quarterly. So it's all stuff that we have, but with that, the downsizing of the amount of air packs that are out there in the field, we actually this year. So what we're doing is we have such a surplus of equipment in the department that we just started basically, for lack of better words, cannibalizing what we have. So we were able to avoid $7,000-8,000 in just normal repairs by, all right, this one's just not worth repairing. We'll take this one and put it in its place. We intend to do that for years to come. There's a vast surplus of equipment through the just through the declining rosters of the stations that we're able to repurpose and keep dropping. So overall, the maintenance and operating costs should continue to go down.
All right, thank you very much.
That's it. Any other questions? Representative Morza.
Thank you. Through you, Madam Moderator. Just so that I'm really more just curious than anything. Where it says like vendor, I'm assuming First Choice is the name of the vendor and not, okay. And
crafty marketing, isn't it?
How do you guys find your vendors? Do you just have people that you normally work with, or do you put it out for bid, or how do you choose?
So most of what you're looking at is all territorial vended, being that the breathing equipment has to work with the stuff that we already use. So MES is the regional Scott dealer, and we decided to continue we've used Scott for both our above ground and confined space, or what's known as supplied breathing apparatus in the past. So that's kind of a single source. With it, the air cart, as it's called, that goes with this, again, it has to be interchangeable with the stuff that we have. And a number of the smaller items is all based off of just the vendor that has already supplied a portion of that. My predecessor had received a training grant that came with it, some equipment, so it was just basically following the same vendor line, so it's interchangeable equipment between the rigs and the stuff that we already have. So normally, a lot of this stuff, as far as like radios or the air packs and things like that, a lot of it ends up being sole source because it's so in the emergency services there's so much territory type vending. Yeah.
Any other questions? Any other questions? All right. Hearing none, the motion on the table is to consider and act upon a recommendation from the Board of Finance for an appropriation in the amount of $49,102 from designated line 20523-57777 Fire Service SCBA Upgrade Program for the SCBA Upgrade Program. All in favor? Say aye. Opposed? Abstain? Tim Sullivan? Ayes have it. Motion passes.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Chris.
Point of information, Madam Moderator.
Certainly.
The Committee on Committees, will that be taken about on the new business to appoint people to the various?
No, that is Committee on Committees. That is item number 12. Thank you very much.
Oh, yeah, I see it. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank
Good.
you.
Thanks for asking a question that all these people could answer. you ready? Okay, next item, to consider and act upon a request from the First Selectman to approve the non-union administrative support and technical crafts general wage increase of 2.5% for fiscal year 2026 to 27. This also includes an increase in employee cost sharing of health benefits from 16% to 17%, effective July 1, 2026. Do I have a motion? Danielle?
Hello. So for the new people here, I'm Christine Walters, the Director of Human Resources. Just have a few comments to make. Before you this evening is the First Selectman's request for a 2.5% general wage increase for our non-union employees, effective July 1st, 2026. This proposed increase is consistent with prior years and reflects our ongoing commitment to employee retention and maintaining competitive and equitable compensation townwide. In addition to the general wage increase, the proposal includes a 1% adjustment to the employee contribution toward health insurance premiums. This structure mirrors prior cost-sharing changes and continues our efforts to balance fair employee compensation with responsible long-term budgeting. You've been provided the labor cost reports as backup material, which outline the total projected cost of the 2.5% general wage increase. Thank you for your time, and I'm happy to answer any questions you have on the backup.
Thank you, Chris. Any questions? Thank you. Representative Condon.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, good.
Hey, I just have a quick question. It's a little off topic, but we switched to the state plan for health insurance.
Yes.
Are we, it's a two-part question. The first is what is the 16 to 17% for the employees? What does that represent as far as like a dollar amount?
We don't know that yet because we don't have the rates for next year. I can give you what that difference would be based on the rates now.
Sure.
So we have 3 tiers. We have employee, we have 2-person, we have family. So an employee right now at 16% contributes $217 a month. So 17% would be $230. So that's about a $13.50 difference per month. 2-person plan, 16% is $464. 17% would bring it to $492. That's a difference of about $29. And family, 16% is $567 a month. 17% would be $602. And that's a difference of about $35 a month.
Traditionally on the state plan, I know we don't know what they're going to go up. But what have they gone up in the past when we were looking at it backwards?
I'm not sure.
Last couple of years, they increased about 2%.
2%.
They are definitely predicting a higher increase this year, though.
Okay. Is it Anthem? The state plan, it's Anthem?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay. Thank you. They're going up 11%.
I'm sorry for the quizzical look. I thought it was Aetna.
Anthem.
There we go. Any other questions from anyone else? Nope. Then I have just a quick question.
Okay.
It's related to both, basically. Because I know these typically follow the increases and the changes in healthcare that the previously done union contracts do. These guys follow along, which makes me think that we have some multi-year union contracts coming our way soon. Do you know when negotiations might be starting on those?
So we have 3 contracts opening up, probably late spring. That'll be 1303. Why am I blanking? Police and dispatch. So GGA is already, that one was done, and that one goes through the end of June of '27. And fire we just did, and that goes through the end of June of '28.
All right. Not bad, then.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, still, one last call. No questions? No answers? All right. Motion on the table then is, motion to consider an act upon a request from the first selectman to approve the non-union administrative support and technical crafts general wage increase of 2.5% for fiscal year 2026 to 27. This also includes an increase in employee cost sharing of health benefits from 16% to 17%, effective July 1, 2026. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstain? No? Motion passes, thank you. Moving on to number 9, sorry.
Just basics.
To consider and act upon a request from the first selectman to approve the non-union professionals and management professionals general wage increase of 2.5% for fiscal year 2026-27. This also includes an increase in employee cost sharing of health benefits from 16% to 17%, effective July 1, 2026. Childs, second. Danielle, got it? All right, any questions? I know it's seeming redundant, isn't it?
Next time I'll have to put them both together in one line.
Oh, then we'll find something wrong with that. Yeah. Any other questions? No questions? All right. Hearing none, I get to read it again. It's all right. To consider and act upon a request from the first selectman to approve the non-union professionals and management professionals general wage increase of 2.5% for fiscal year 2026 to 27. This also includes an increase in employee cost sharing of health benefits from 16% to 17%, effective July 1, 2026. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstain? Kathy, you got her? One abstention? All right.
Point of privilege, Madam Moderator.
Sure.
As we move into appointments and changes right now, I think it's important that we take a minute to honor the time and service of Tom Dembeck, who passed away October 22nd. He was a member of this board for a very long time. He was moderator. He was very involved in town. So just a brief moment of silence, I think, would be in order for Mr. Dembeck.
Certainly. Turned off my mic. Item number 10, to consider an act upon 2 appointments to the Personnel Review Board. Before we start, this is partly for my benefit, partly for new people's. I have to get this straight in my head. I'm going to follow the past process for accepting nominations. Maybe I'll change it later. No, but tonight, which will be, I'll ask for nomination. There can be, you can nominate one person at a time. We'll need a second for the nomination. I'll continue asking for nominations. We can get other names. Again, a motion and a second. Once we are done collecting all the nominations, we will then do a, I'm thinking roll call, because we have so many people. I don't know, roll call vote, and we will take the nominations in order that they were presented. So one person at a time. There are no runoff votes. All right. So, Personnel Review Board. Do we have any nominations? Representative Childs.
I'd like to nominate Gwen Braxton for the Personnel Review Board.
Gwen Braxton, do we have a second? Okay. Motion and a second. Any other nominations? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm turning my head, Dave. Representative Stewart Jelinas.
I'd like to nominate Krum Chuchev.
Second.
Got him? Thank you. I could never pronounce his last name. Any other nominations? Representative Stewart Jelinas.
I'd like to nominate Ricky Wells.
I don't know, are you allowed to do two?
There's two positions.
I know.
Second.
Got that? Any other nominations? This is a very popular board all of a sudden. Yeah. All right. Any other nominations? Any other nominations? Okay, nominations are now closed. We will now consider the first nomination. All those, want to do roll call? Why not? You should practice doing a long roll call. First nomination was for Gwen Braxton, so please answer in favor when your name is called.
A yes is for favor of Gwen
Yes.
Braxton, and no is against.
Sorry, that was
Miss
not-
Agman Bosa.
Yes.
Mr. Bartelli. Miss Bennett.
Yes.
Mr. Besaid. Mr. Calkins.
Yes.
Ms. Casper.
Yes.
Ms. Childs.
Yes.
Mr. Condon. Ms. Driscoll.
Yes.
Mr. Fioravanti.
Yes.
Ms. Franklin.
Yes.
Mr. Goldstein.
No.
Ms. Gonzalez.
Yes.
Ms. Green.
Yes.
Ms. Khan.
Yes.
Ms. McKenzie. Ms. Morsehead.
Yes.
Ms. Mullen.
Yes.
Thank you. Ms. Mullen Cole.
Yes.
Ms. Nunes Peterson.
Oh.
Oh. Mr. Olinsu. Yes. Ms. Pellet.
Yes.
Ms. Stewart Jelinas.
No.
Mr. Segru.
No.
Mr. Sullivan.
Yes.
Ms. Watson Jones.
Yes.
$18 in favor. She's on the board.
All right, so we have the first seat filled with Gwen Braxton. Next up, Krum, and I'm going to butcher his name.
Chuchev.
Chuchev, thank you. Krum Chuchev. So the clerk will call the roll again in his dulcet tones, and I'm loving the inflections, by the way. Jazz it up. So, yes.
Yes is for Crum.
Thank you. Yes is for Krum.
Miss Agman Bosa.
No.
Mr. Bartelli. Miss Bennett.
No.
Mr. Besaid. Mr. Calkins.
No.
Miss Casper.
Yes.
Miss Childs.
No.
Mr. Condon.
Yes.
Miss Driscoll.
No.
Mr. Fioravanti.
No.
Miss Franklin.
No.
Mr. Goldstein.
Yes.
Miss Gonzalez.
No.
Miss Green.
No.
Miss Khan.
No.
Miss McKenzie. Miss Mooreshead.
No.
Miss Mullen.
No.
Miss Mullen Cole.
No.
Miss Nunes Peterson.
No.
Mr. Olinsu.
No.
Miss Pellet.
No.
Miss Stewart Jelinas.
Yes.
Mr. Segru.
Yes.
Mr. Sullivan.
No.
Miss Watson Jones. Not a majority. Does not pass.
No majority. All right, so we'll move on to the last nominee, Ricky Wells. So a vote for yes is yes for Ricky Wells. Did I get that right?
Miss Agman Bosa.
Yes.
Mr. Bartelli. Miss Bennett.
Yes.
Mr. Besaid. Mr. Calkins.
Yes.
Miss Casper.
Yes.
Miss Childs.
Yes.
Mr. Condon. Miss Driscoll.
Yes.
Mr. Fioravanti.
Yes.
Miss Franklin.
Yes.
Mr. Goldstein.
Yes.
Miss Gonzalez.
Yes.
Miss Green.
Yes.
Miss Khan. Miss McKenzie. Miss Mooreshead. Miss Mullen. Miss Mullen Cole.
Yes.
Miss Nunes Peterson.
Yes.
Mr. Olinsu. Miss Pellet.
Yes.
Miss Stewart Jelinas.
Yes.
Mr. Segru.
Yes.
Mr. Sullivan. Miss Watson Jones.
Yes.
That's got it.
Right. That passes. So Ricky Wells is the second seat on the Personnel Review Board. Moving on. You ready?
Yep.
Okay. Moving on to number 11, to consider an act upon appointment to the Utility Commission due to the passing of Thomas Dembeck. This would be a midterm replacement for the term that runs April 1, 2025 to March 31, 2029. Do you have any nominations? Representative Childs?
I'd like to nominate Beth Sibilia.
Have a second? Second. Okay, any other nominations? I did see your hand, sorry.
That's okay.
It's like-
I'd like to nominate Rich Gagno.
Second.
Motion and second. Any other nominations, Ursula? Sorry, Representative Mooreshead.
I'd like to nominate Josh Kelly.
Okay.
Who seconded that, Con? You won.
Not that he plays favorites over here. All right. Motion and second. Any other nominations? Any other nominations? Any other nominations? Hearing none, we will address the nominations in the order they were received. First up is Beth Sibilia. A yes vote is for Sibilia?
Yes. Miss Agman Bosa.
Yes.
Mr. Bartelli. Miss Bennett.
Yes.
Mr. Besaid. Mr. Calkins.
Yes.
Miss Casper.
Yes.
Miss Childs. Mr. Condon. Miss Driscoll.
Yes.
Mr. Fioravanti.
Abstain.
Miss Franklin.
No.
Mr. Goldstein.
No.
Miss Gonzalez.
Yes.
Miss Green.
No.
Miss Khan. Miss McKenzie. Miss Mooreshead. Miss Mullen. Miss Mullen Cole. Miss Nunes Peterson.
Yes.
Mr. Olinsu. Miss Pellet.
Yes.
Miss Stewart Jelinas.
No.
Mr. Segru.
No.
Mr. Sullivan. Miss Watson Jones.
Yes.
She received a majority. She's placed.
All right, single appointment. That's it. Thank you. Moving on. Item number 12. All right, this is the fun part of tonight's festivities, so we lose our audience. It is the moderator's job to appoint a committee on committees, which shall exist for hopefully just a short time this evening. Standing seats on that are filled by the majority leader and the minority leader. All right, which means there are 3 more appointments. All 4 districts must be represented. So, since District 1 and District 2 are already there, I shall appoint for District 3, Representative Fioravanti. He will join the Committee on Committees. For District 4, Representative Dave Segru. And looping back to District 1, Representative Lindsay Kahn. This will be our 5-person committee on committees. Your charge is to hie off to the Appleby Room, discuss, debate, concur, come back with a slate of members for our standing and special committees. Everybody saw the cheat sheet. While you are gone, the RTM will recess, so we won't do anything without you. And we will come back to order once you all come back in together with your sheets. Good luck. And the time is, what time? Thank you.
What time is it?
9:10, 9:10 recess. What do you got?
You're texting my wife right now. It's repeating everything you just said.
Oh my God, apologize to your wife that I am
No,
not
it didn't
doing
go
that.
through. It didn't go through.
Okay, so this is free reign. Don't let all of us rush off to the bathroom at once.
Anybody tells me the Patriots score, they're in big trouble. So keep it to yourself.
You want to know what it is?
I've got. All right, we are calling the RTM back into order following our recess. The time is 9:35. Yep. Am I good? Okay. So the Committee on Committees has returned. And our first item is to consider the recommendation of the Committee on Committees. Who names these things? For the membership of the standing committees of the RTM. Do you have a recommendation, please? Do,
accept the standing committee assignments for the 25 to 27
Sure. The standing committee assignments for L&A, Public Works, Finance, Wage, Personnel, Public Health, Education, and Public Protection and Safety. I just want to make sure everybody knows what we're voting on this particular time. So there's a motion and a second from the two leaders?
Just heard Childs, then Stewart, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions, any comments? Any last pleadings to take me off of that? Okay. In that case, roll call. All in favor of accepting the standing committee slate as presented, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstain? No. Thank you. Number 14. Consider an act upon two appointments to the to consider an act upon the RTM appointments to the Long Range Fiscal Planning Committee and the School Building Committee. Do I have a motion?
Second.
Add in the Energy Task Force to this group?
Sure, why not? For a friendly amendment?
Yes, ma'am.
Since they're on the sheet? Okay. Erase that. Good, more for me to read. All right, so we have social service, sorry. We're on Long Range Fiscal Planning Committee.
Yep.
Got that? Energy Task Force, yes. All right, and so we added Jim Bartelli. Ursula Christina. All right, Energy Task Force remains Mary Childs and Kate McKenzie.
Yes, ma'am.
That's what we're doing. Okay, and the School Building Committee, we have 2 midterm vacancies, as they say. So that would be Julie Watson-Jones to fill the term July 2022 through June 2027, and Ted for his own midterm replacement. Did I summarize that?
Yes, we also had Dave Shuguru on there, right?
Yes, but he is right there. He's not filling a vacancy.
Right, so he's already seated.
Yeah, he's
and,
already
yeah,
seated.
exactly.
Yeah, so, that's it. No questions? Any questions, comments, everybody? All right, so the motion is to approve the RTM appointments to Long Range Fiscal Planning Committee, School Building Committee, and the Energy Task Force. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Ayes have it. Moving on to Retirement Commission appointments. Do you have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All right. Any discussion? Nope. All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstain? Thank you. Getting short with these answers. Number 16, 2 RTM appointments to the Social Services Grants Review Board.
Is there,
I'm looking for a friendly amendment to this.
could I offer a friendly amendment to that?
Please.
To extend the dates, so from December 1st, 2025, we had said that we'd make it 2 years, so to extend that date to 12/6/2027.
So 27. Thank you. All right. Because we did that last term too, rather than go through all this fun just for a one-day appointment. Okay, so we have 2 appointments. It's Lindsay Kahn and Kate McKenzie. Any questions, comments?
So we need a motion?
Yeah, sorry.
Or, I mean, so moved on the
Well,
motion.
we had a friendly amendment.
I don't know if I jumped in before you actually made the motion, which is what I thought. I'm sorry.
It's good we had a recess. We needed to rest.
Yeah, that helped.
We do have a motion and a second, and a 2-year term. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstain. 17, to consider and act upon one RTM appointment. Seeing as this, I'm gonna just invoke a moderator's request. Seeing as this is a term of life of the project, as an RTM member, Ted Alinsu still remains on it, but we are going to have to make a replacement in February for our previous seat holder. So I would entertain a motion to pass over this. Yeah?
Who made
Motion and
that
a second? Danielle? Got it? Okay. And we'll do this, we'll do this in February. Okay? All right, so we pass over. All right, all those in favor of passing over? Aye, thank you. You already wrote it down. No and abstain. 18, the schedule. Consider action upon the proposed schedule of regular meetings for the 2026 calendar year. Town clerk has prepared this list. I quickly screened it for holiday conflicts, didn't seem to be any. And for the new people, please note that the annual budget meeting actually takes place over 4 very exciting evenings. But at least it's spread out over 2 weeks. It used to be 4 nights in a row in 1 week, and nobody wants to do that again. So I'd ask you all to mark your personal calendars ahead. I know life will happen and things will come up, but just to be prepared. Does anyone have any other questions or concerns, or did we miss a thing? All right, motion to approve. I'm looking for a motion to approve.
So moved.
And a second. Okay. That's it. All those in favor? Aye. Here we go. Number 19. We are almost there, people. To consider and act upon a proposed representative town meeting budget for fiscal year 2026 to 27 in the amount of $17,803. Looking for a motion.
Childs, too.
Okay, everybody. All right, any questions, concerns? Questions, concerns, comments? Thank you. I know that it's Ms. Childs, but she could raise her hand.
So I just wondered if we could talk about, because this is our budget, is there a way we can talk about the additional $400 for the Roberts rules?
That would constitute a question, so yes.
So yes, okay. Dave, you put this together for us, right?
Yeah.
Okay. My question is, if we're gonna spend $400 and distribute them beyond ourselves, I just don't know that that's necessary or something that we should fund if we're sharing it to other elected officials and boards. So that was my question.
Through you,
You
Ms.
can reply.
Moderator. My feeling was it seemed to make sense because the majority of the people who would need them would be from this group. So there's 28 members here. My thought process was that it was, just to go in a little background, was that we are filming all these these meetings now, movies, and I do realize that a lot of people are going to get these books and they might not go through them in detail. But, you know, we've lost over the years some people who really had a good working knowledge of Robert's Rules. And to get these books distributed, they will be the town of Waterford's property. I will ask for them back when people leave. I don't expect to get them all back when people leave. I'll also ask for the Board of Selectmen if they'd like them. I'd also ask the Board of Finance if they like them, along with Planning, Zoning, the 4 groups that are all being recorded. I think it's a good investment for the town. I'd like to see how it works out, see if it improves our Roberts rules of order from meeting to meeting. But I wouldn't be offended if the body didn't feel like I felt either. So whatever you guys feel like you have to do.
Okay, Representative Moorehead?
So I agree. I think it's good for all of us to have that information. I'm wondering if, I'm assuming you were looking at buying all new ones, because there are ways to find really good condition ones for lower prices. Just a suggestion. It is what it is. I have my own, but just a food for thought. That's all.
I will positively research that and try to get the most bang for the buck out of the $400. Thank you. Appreciate it. And I'll reach out to the library also.
Any other questions? Representative Khan? I know, these are.
I just, because I know, because we have the CCM on there, and I know that we have a ton of new people, and I know that I don't even know how to access it, so could somebody maybe just like shoot everyone an email with, isn't there a code or something that we need? Yeah, if somebody could do that. Okay, yep, thanks.
Comments, concerns? No? All right, I have 2 on 2 different topics. My first one is actually for the finance director, so I am not trusting my memory. The clerk did a bang-up job preparing our budget, put $1 into the salary lines as a placeholder, and I have a vague recollection that at some point someone asked you a question about that. Do we still have to put $1 in there, or we lose the ability to access that line if we desperately need the money sometime later?
No, and the Board of Finance guidelines say anything with a placeholder of $1 will be eliminated anyways.
Okay.
If you so choose and need money in that line in the future, you can just put in a request to transfer in. The line does not close and go away. There's just no money in it.
Okay,
It's
thank
still
you.
an active line that you can use at any time.
Thank you. I wanted him to hear it from an expert. All right. And now my second, I guess my comment on the Robert's Rules of Orders. I understand your intent to a point. We can all certainly use a brush up on Robert's Rules. I'm thinking an across the board, never before done handout of 40 or 50 copies of these, most of them to us. A lot of that information is available online for free. And you can get them for $8 at Target. But a lot of it's free, a lot of it gets updated, and much of it, if you've ever delved through that book, doesn't quite cover the stuff that we fumble over, and also gives us advice that does not apply. So I would hate to give it to everyone and say this is the gospel rule for Robert's Rules in this legislative body. For instance, Robert's Rules explains how you can, encourages you to move to take this to the committee as a whole as a way to ban the press and the public from your meeting. We can't just do that. We have Freedom of Information Act rules and state statutes that are a different set of standards altogether on executive sessions. So I think just passing it out with no instruction, you pass out to us when we're sworn in. We get our pack. We all got our blue packet. We had our Robert's Rules cheat sheet of motions, which you gave us, which is the basic helpful thing, like point of personal privilege and point of information, things to interrupt. to get us going. It doesn't do that pyramid on the rare occasion, which we haven't done lately, of having amendments on amendments on amendments on motions, and we lost track. That's where it gets tricky. I would rather have, since we are going to have an FOI seminar, right? We're having an FOI commissioner come this winter, one of the new ones, and he's going to do one. We haven't had one for 8, 9 years.
No, just
Longer than that. Yeah, it was very informative. The trick is to get enough turnout. We invite all the board and commission lists, and they're a revolving workforce as well. We know because we have all these appointments we have to do over and over and over again. So I would think perhaps a better investment, which I hate to say we're free, would be perhaps for the RTM or an RTM committee to look into ways to give basic education to all boards and commissions, and especially the ones that are comprised solely of volunteers, non-elected officials. They're left to founder by themselves. They don't know how to do minutes or take notes. So if we could come up with like an educational primer on our own, which I'm going to say it out loud on a mic on video, yeah, we could probably plagiarize or photocopy a really nice chart from Robert's Rules on the pyramids. But everything else, I think we could put together or give them a list of resources and either post it on their website or give it to each person as they are sworn in and do that rather than invest. I know $400 isn't a lot. It's a big percentage of our budget, but it's going to be a tight year, and I would like us to find a more economical way to do that than all new copies of Robert's Rules, which, I mean, maybe all 28 of us will read it from cover to cover, but the rest, I think, are just going to get lost. So I'd rather have something focused. And the RTM does have the authority to review various boards and commissions' policies or practices to make sure they're in compliance, so maybe we can just work it in with that. Food for thought, but I would like to, as I keep talking, does anybody else have any other questions or concerns before I make a motion? I will be making a motion. Yeah.
I just want to validate what Dave's, the message behind that, to just, make sure everyone is on the same page and that we all know the rules of conduct, I guess. So I appreciate that sentiment, because I think we all want the same thing. So thank you, Dave.
Yeah, I like both ideas, honestly. I think that doing a primer is an excellent idea. It sounds like a big time commitment, and it requires somebody knowing enough of the rules, and I'm saying that because I don't, to be able to summarize it in a clear way to give to people and educate them. That said, I'm not opposed to somebody else doing it as long as it's not me. At the same time, I think because we do operate under Robert's Rules, that having copies of that available to members of the different boards and committees is something we should have, and not, we're expecting them to follow the rules, maybe not all of them, maybe we don't need everything in there, but because we say this is how we operate our meetings, I think we should have copies available. Maybe we don't need that many, but I think having them on hand to give out to people as needed is a good idea.
Sorry, I do remember when we had a town attorney who had a copy with him while he sat here with
I
us,
missed
and that
Nick
was our
on here
resource.
because he gave me my copy.
And Nick's got one, so yeah. Yeah. No, and you can get most of it online. That's how I find most of my stuff. But I was just looking somewhere in there. I know I had one before. The org chart, the other boards and commissions. I think if we only bought 40 now and tapped us out, that wouldn't go very far. We've got 40 boards and commissions all floating around just to get them to those chairs. Oh, I don't need to see it. Just you all have it. Thank you, Joanna, though. You could, you could tell me if it's not close to 40, but that's a lot of boxes out there.
I'm just gonna take your assumption.
Good, because we all want to go home and shut me up. All right, so that being said, now that I've lost my budget, I would entertain a motion to reduce our budget by, and I'm entertaining a motion because technically I can't make one. So it's a hint. To reduce our clerical and FICA line items each by $1 and reduce the office supplies by $400. You can make that motion. Can you say it louder so I can hear you?
I move that we reduce our clerical and, well,
FICA.
it's just clerical, right?
Oh, sorry.
For $1 and reduce our office supplies by $400 for the total of $17,402 for the RTM.
Sue?
Yep, hang on. Thank you. Representative Segru, that's why you're all pointing. I was doing
Are
the
we
math.
taking this as one motion or two separate motions for these reductions?
We can do it either way. She combined them, but
Is that not
Would
hard?
you accept an amendment to break it into two separate motions?
to bifurcate, because I read that.
Bifurcate.
Yes, that's what Robert's rules calls
Bingo.
it.
I'd like to bifurcate
I
it,
read
please.
that page. Yeah, bifurcate.
Did the motion get seconded, or can I
Hear a
just
second
restate
on
it?
the motion to reduce.
Oh, well.
Second to
Now I have to-
bifurcate?
No, just the original motion. Then there's a friendly
Amendment. okay.
amendment, and I think you guys both.
No, she
Yeah,
just
is
said
it friendly?
second. I was confirming that she was.
Yes. So I make a motion that we reduce our clerical and technical line item by $1.
And thank you for correcting my math. Not you, her. Do you have your second?
We do.
That's what we want.
Emmy Franklin?
Amy Freeman. Thank you, Amy. You okay now?
Yeah, I'm good, go ahead.
Motion on the table to reduce our clerical and technical line item by $1. All in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Nope. 2 noes. Got 'em? And abstain. Got 'em? Okay. Ayes have it. It's reduced by 1.
May I make a follow-up motion?
Yes, ma'am.
I move, I'd like to make a motion to reduce our office supplies line item by $400.
Do we have a second? Okay. Motion and a second. Any discussion? Comments? Ready?
Yeah.
All in favor? Oh, whoop, sorry.
So sorry.
Representative Ogman Boza.
Through you, Madam Moderator. Just to clarify, so the motion to reduce the budget by 400, that's the funds that will go towards buying the books?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? No? All right, so back. Motion on the floor to reduce the office supply line item by $400. All in favor? Say aye. Roll call. Sorry. Either we're very tired or we need to.
A yes is to reduce it by $400. Ms. Ogman Bosa.
No.
Mr. Bartelli. Ms. Bennett.
Abstain.
Mr. Besaid. Mr. Calkins. Ms. Casper.
No.
Ms. Childs. Mr. Condon. Ms. Driscoll.
Yes.
Mr. Fioravanti.
No.
Ms. Franklin.
No.
Mr. Goldstein. Ms. Gonzalez.
No.
Ms. Green.
No.
Ms. Khan. Ms. McKenzie. Ms. Moorshead. Ms. Mullen. Ms. Mullen Cole.
No.
Ms. Nunes Peterson.
No.
Mr. Olinsky. Ms. Stewart Jelinas. Mr. Segru? Mr. Sullivan? Ms. Watson Jones? Motion fails.
Okay. All right, so I need a motion. Entertain a motion and a second for, to approve the amended representative town meeting budget, which has been amended to 17,400 and,
802.
what? 8, sorry.
802.
80,
No, because
802.
the $1 went to.
801, 802. This is great, 9 people. I'm glad it's on video. The subtotal was 17,802. We took out the 1. $17,802. Are we in agreement?
Yes.
Okay. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstain? Okay. New business, and don't start packing your stuff yet. New business. Does anyone have any new business they wish to bring before us? Representative Stuart Jelinek.
Through you, I just have a brief statement for everyone that's been named to a committee on that list that you have in front of you. If you can just take a couple minutes after this meeting to get together and determine your chair.
Thank you. That was going to be my third item, and I was going to order them. The doors will be locked. Okay. Anyone else have anything? Representative Morzan.
Not to belabor the point, but just curious. These meetings obviously are, every item on the of the agenda is very important. It's there, it's important. I feel like as the day goes on, as the meeting goes on, I'm wondering if there's, and I may be speaking out of line, I apologize if this is in a charter or law. Is there any way to have a discussion around starting the meetings earlier than 7 so that our brains can be at least a little more fresh by the end of the, and again, I'm asking because I don't know if it's in the bylaws that it has to be at 7 o'clock. But I'm just wondering if that's something that we can talk about as new business, old business.
I think we could
whichever.
bring it up another time because we're all very tired. No, what I'm saying is that we used to start at 7:30. I remember we changed it to 7 for the same reason. And that was back when we did 4 budget hearings back to back in a single week. They went to 7. We thought that was a little bit earlier, but not so early that if the public wanted to come or people had to get their children or feed them or whatever. But certainly worth bringing up again, and I would have to check with an attorney to see how we actually do that.
Well, now that we have live stream, you know, someone could technically be watching while they're making dinner. I know
Yeah.
it's whatever.
Yes,
it is
but
what
not
it
the
is,
RTM member.
Right. No, I know.
Yeah.
So I just, yeah, that's it.
If I may,
Sure.
Just for historical perspective, Moderator Driscoll's 100% correct. People have actually served longer than me. We were sometimes here till midnight, 1 a.m. So the meetings have gotten a lot shorter. I want to throw this out there as you think about this. This body has gotten extremely bigger from when it first started. A lot of us have work hours, so you don't want, it's hard enough to find people to run, as most people know. The last thing you want to do is start having earlier meetings. It has been a topic of discussion as to why other boards and commissions meet so early. I understand there may be reasons behind that, but considering that a lot of us work, you want to take that into consideration as well as you move forward. So just food for thought.
Okay. Any other comments before I do my list? Okay. So, sorry, it counts as new business. This is just a heads up. I'm pointing at the clerk. We've been talking about this for a long time. So we are going to revive a past practice, which is to post the RTM members' contact information on the actual RTM homepage. That would be a name, an email, and or phone number. All right, we'd be separated by district, would not be address. So what I'm asking everyone here, and we'll contact whoever wasn't here, if you wish to have a different phone number or email address provided on the website than what Mr. Campo has in our contact list, please let the two of us know by the end of this week so that we can put that up there. All right, so that's the next step. Sure.
Can we have the option to put either or does it have to be both?
No, it can be either or. I said either or. Either or, phone or email. Just
Okay.
a way for them to contact you should they wish.
Okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
great.
Third. All right, third. This is an actual item. This is actually, back in February, I had mentioned to, and I'm sure Attorney Keppel, you guys are still here. And the first selectman will remember, I did put in a request for us to set up a system to do regular reviews of contracts as required by the ordinance. And I know it hasn't been quite a year, but I'm thinking we should get the ball rolling. Start with, and I did talk to the Board of Finance, start with the Waterford Ambulance Service contract. That's been in negotiations forever. There's been so many changes in the past few years. It would be a great time for you to be able to discuss all those, us be able to comment or issue concerns or try to find out what's going on with that. If we could have that for our February meeting to put on the agenda, and then we can get together later on and work out a different schedule because they go on 4-year cycles and whatever. We can coordinate with the Board of Finance. So that's it for that one. Thank you very much. That was an easy one. See, if we kept them late and they were tired. And fourth, to reiterate, but stronger, before we do the adjournment, I'm going to say, every RTM member here has to stay, cannot leave, until we do the biennial random scrambling of the little committees in squadrons, where you will get together, someone will nominate a chair, someone will second a chair, maybe multiples, and you will vote and elect a chair. And before you leave the room, please let Dave or I know who that chair is so that we can get the routing list set up and get these committees up and rolling. So, again, nobody leaves the room till that's done. That is blissfully all I have for you. So I need a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
At what time is it? 10. 10:10.